Hey guys, we'll start in just a moment. Hope everybody's having a nice night. Let me know if you should be able to hear me okay. I turned the music down pretty considerably. Boom, 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 boom. I'm watching my 10-month-old roll around in his crib, and I'm just like, he's gonna wake up and start screaming. So we'll see how long we last. I'm gonna grab a real quick beverage, and then we'll get going here. All right. Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Task Force Admiral, a game which is entering early access on the 27th of January, so just a few days away. They have made available to the backers some new scenarios that I believe will be launching with early access on the 27th, and so we're going to be taking a first look at those. Specifically, they are two scenarios dealing with the Battle of Midway. To this point, we have played the Battle Generator. I didn't ever quite get back to that last fight we were fighting. It was bloody, my carriers were disabled, and frankly, I just didn't get back around to it. But then when I saw Midway come up, I was like, well, I don't really want to go finish my 2-carrier fiasco. But I am happy to jump into, you know, an 8-carrier fiasco, I suppose. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what this looks like here. So here's the single scenarios. We've already played of Cranes and Patriots and Cranes, Patriots and Friends, which are the Coral Sea scenarios, and the Midway scenarios, which are now available to folks who have the sort of the backers, if they were Kickstarter backers, and will come out with the early access release on the 27th, are Busy Morning at Point Luck and Busy Morning at Point Luck Hard. So Busy Morning at Point Luck, I believe, is like Midway's already under attack. You're commanding the carriers for the Americans, and you're trying to stop the Kido Butai. Busy Morning at Point Luck Hard is like, hey, what if the Japanese scout planes did their jobs, didn't have technical issues, and you know, we're set up to succeed. So I suppose this one's going to be easier because presumably the Japanese are less likely to find you first, whereas this one's going to be harder because the Japanese are more likely to find you, if not first, at least early enough so that they won't have the whole like, let's load the planes for one mission and unload them for another. Although I will say, I haven't really noticed in the Coral Sea scenarios rearming being like this extended, drawn out thing. It seems like once planes get back on deck, they get rearmed pretty like almost like that. Maybe that's just that scenario. Maybe it's, yeah, I don't know, but we'll see. There are multiple, you know, Midway scenarios. There's This Is It, which is not available yet. And then there's a bunch of hypotheticals as well. Battle wagons off Midway sounds fun. I don't know if this game's really set up to do surface action very well. I actually think War on the Sea does a really good job with surface battles. I don't know if this will. We did do a night surface action in one of the Coral Sea scenarios, but it didn't, I mean, maybe it was because it was nighttime and I couldn't see shit, but it didn't really seem, I mean, the game focuses on you being a carrier commander, so I'll leave it at that. Let's go ahead and do Busy Morning at Point Luck, though. I don't need to jump into the hypothetical hard one quite yet. So that's what we're going to take a look at here. So we've got Midway Island is under attack. A joint task force comprising 3 carriers is about to stop, or try to stop, the fearsome Kidobutai ahead of the planned invasion of the American outpost. Against the elite of Japanese naval aviation, is there any hope for the crews of the USS Yorktown, Enterprise, and Hornet, along with the courageous fighters of the besieged atoll? Relive the fateful morning that saw the tide turn and try your own luck. My 10-year-old is like awake and staring at the camera and rolling around. He's not screaming. He has been screaming like every hour on the hour. I think he's dealing with a little bit of sleep regression, so that's why I haven't been streaming as much lately. But we'll cross our fingers and hope that things stay well enough for us to get into this. Do I not get a video introduction? It's just the, aw. I really like the video introduction for the Midway scenario, or for the Coral Sea scenario, and this is, we just get a lot of text. So it's 0300 hours. Okay, scenario duration 1 to 2 days. It's very cloudy. USS Yorktown, Enterprise, and Hornet, along with their escorts, forming Task Force 17, and the task, I'm not going to read all this, there's just too much text here, but have gathered to lay a trap ahead of the enemy offense. I really hope they do the whole video, like, stand-up fancy intro for the other scenarios, like, as they get close to release. It's going to be early access, so I understand that they may not have all of this buttoned up yet, but the Coral Sea intro is, like, one of the really appealing things of that scenario. If we're starting at 0300, earlier on June 3rd, the invasion force was set up by patrols operating from our base, subsequently attacked. Intel suggests the enemy carriers have not made themselves known just yet. Okay, northwest vector relative to Midway. Okay. Air units at Midway are operating on high alert. Preparing for the moment of truth. Here's a question. When the Midway aircraft attacked the carrier groups, had they relayed the actual location of the carrier groups to the American carriers? Because, like, in a game like this, you're going to have pretty much perfect information between, like, what I see and what, like, the land-based air sees. All right, this scenario focuses on the carrier engagement. As such, other task forces are not represented at this time, okay? So, lots of information here. Task Force 17 under Rear Admiral Fletcher has 1 carrier, Yorktown, 2 cruisers, 6 destroyers. Task Force 16 under Spruance has 2 carriers, 6 cruisers, 9 destroyers. Midway Garrison, what about our air assets? That's what I'm mostly interested in. We've got 78 aircraft on Yorktown and Enterprise, 77 on Hornet. Okay, 230 carrier aviation. Approximately 120 aircraft are on Midway, including around 25 PBYs for search, 20 B-17 Flying Fortresses for high altitude, and a few B-26 Marauders, a full squadron of Marine SBDs and Vindicators. The fighter cover of F-2A Buffaloes and F-4F Wildcats has short range and shall be used primarily for the defense of operations. Enemy, the primary threat is the Kidobutai, first mobile strike group, supposedly commanded by Vice Admiral Nagumo. Since the attack on Pearl, intel suggests it's centered around 4 heavy fleet carriers, Akagi, Kaga, Soryu, and Hiryu. These ships have proven again their ability to operate in a single cohesive tactical unit. They are likely screened by fast battleships of the Congo class, heavy cruisers, adequate number of destroyers. The enemy's main surface fleet might follow in its steps, but the goal is to have the battle reach a decisive conclusion before a surface encounter takes place. A separate invasion force sighted yesterday and a support force of cruisers are approaching from the southwest, but they shall be seen as bait. Do not be distracted. But I want to bomb the Yamato. Expected force of roughly 200 to 250 naval aircraft of equal or superior performance. The enemy attack plan is estimated to rely on carrier aircraft beginning attacks at daylight, One or more carriers may take in close day support positions. Okay. What are the scenario options here? Sure, let's record the TAC view. If I want to make a polished video like someone like Wolfpack, we could do that. And away we go. I guess that surface ship is missing a bow, but it makes it look like a submarine. Thank you very much for the gift. Appreciate it, dude. All right, so it is 0300, so plenty dark. They like to start these missions at nighttime. Hey, look, I can see the stars on my planes, though. It's like everything's... Wait. Why is the sun coming up at 0300? That seems a little early. Huh? Strange, strange. Does it tell me when sunrise is? Seems a little early for... Oh, now everything's dark. The game is confused. No, never mind. No, it's not. It's not like winter. We're not in the Arctic. I'm confused. Anyway, so we've got Task Force 17 here with the Yorktown under our command. We've also got Task Force 16 down here. Looks like I can command both of them. Do I also command the bases? Sand Island Seaplane Base, Midway? It doesn't look like I can do anything with them. At least not right now. So 16 and 17 are trailing each other. 17's up front, 16's back behind. I'm assuming this red circle is the estimated area for the enemy. Where's Midway? Is this Midway down here? I don't see the ability to click on anything there. So we're going to rendezvous here at about 8 o'clock. Let's do some search aircraft here off of 17. New air search. Create air search. Do we want to do SBDs? They're faster, but that does rob me of my striking power. SBDs have worse range and speed. They'll take off at 400 hours. Okay, so maybe the sun's coming up earlier than I was thinking then, based on where we are. Carrier Task Force. Do 10? Do like most of their torpedo bomber group? Swing out this way. I don't know. Maybe we need to do SBDs. They've got much better range. Also, they're just faster. Although I don't know that I need to do 10. That feels like that would be overkill. So let's... Is 8 aircraft enough? I really don't want to miss them, and it is very cloudy. That's my main concern. We'll take off roughly here. They're going to be off the Yorktown. Task Force 17 seaplanes would be interesting. All right, so we'll do that in queue. We'll also do a new air search with the Task Force 17 seaplanes. I've not gotten to use the seaplanes before. What's their range? They've got pretty damn good range, actually. We don't need to search all the way out there, I don't think. I don't know how many SOC 1s I've got. The cruisers each have like 2, right? So we've got 8, it looks like. So we can kind of stagger the search here. So hopefully someone will spot them. Can I do a air search from a different task force? Oh, not that. Let's do TF-17 seaplanes. The second group should have more, I would think. Yep. Ooh, that's a lot. We should definitely, with all the aircraft we're putting up here, we better see these fuckers. They better be in this window. I kind of want to watch them prepare the seaplanes. They do a good job of like showing so I can't, it doesn't look like I command the aircraft on Midway because I have no option to select them. But I really would like to see when the sun comes up what the actual seaplane operations are on the escorts. I feel like that could be cool to see. So I think the aircraft are supposed to start taking off at like 4. A little after 4, I guess. I don't see Catalinas. It does say there's Catalinas on Midway, but I guess I don't command those aircraft. I don't think my SBDs will drop bombs if they're in search. Maybe you can. I didn't see that as an option. I wasn't really looking though, but I don't. If I do an air search and I do SBDs, do I have the option to do? It doesn't give me the option to edit their loadout as far as I can see. All right, 430. All right, so we'll just sort of cruise along here as these ships follow their particular courses and get closer. We'll take a look when it gets a little bit lighter out. Yes, the ships are moving. They'll get here at 8 o'clock. You can see the time that they're moving. They're moving at 15 knots. I suppose we can make it move faster at 30, but I think 15 is fine. Okay. Okay, so the Sea Island. All right, so I don't command these guys by the looks of it, but there are PBYs that are going out off the off Midway from the island sea base. So I can't actually control these guys. These missions all just popped up here, but the Catalinas are going. And so these guys are green. Our friendly aircraft when they take off will be blue. So these guys are green because I guess they're friendlies, but they're AI friendlies, I assume. So if we want to like go down and follow one of them, I don't know what we'll be able to see. It might be too dark. You can hear them. There they are. Ooh, look at that. There's Midway back here. Go find them, boys. Can you hear me over the audio? It doesn't look like it doesn't. I've got the auto turned on enough. You should still be able to hear me over the roar of the engine. A PBY flew into your local air show. That's pretty cool. You might be able to in other scenarios. The game really is focusing on you being a carrier commander, so there's an element of me that's like, it makes sense that you can't control them, but I also feel like you shouldn't be able to see the enemy then, because like the American carriers didn't get reports on the Japanese carriers from Midway, did they? I don't think so. Maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe that's who spotted them. I'm trying to remember. It's been a hot minute since I've looked into the battle in any kind of detail. They got reports when Midway is being bombed. Absolutely, yes. Which movie? The good one? Well, I don't know if I always thought the 1970s movie was the good one, but I watched it for the first time with certain other people who I will not name, and they were very much like, this is trash, which, like, I get it. There's like scenes of Iowa class battleships firing their broadsides like when Japanese planes are attacking, as if that's like an anti-aircraft gun, or as if that was there. It's a very common like 70s sin and trope, but I still like that film more than I like the modern CGI fest. We're playing Midway, that's what's up. Oh, he did. Okay. I remember the 70s movie where they were Midway scouts. Okay. Well, these guys are getting their flight. I mean, their planes are off before ours are. I really want to jump in and look at the fleet missions though here. Let's see. Let's look for the cruisers who are going to be launching. Can we see anything yet? There's the sun barely starting to peak. We're starting to spot the planes. Are they going to launch off the catapult here? Do they just get to launch straight off? I guess they probably do. They probably only float them when they land. Here you can see the scout planes on this cruiser. I really love the lighting at night, or like the sunrise and everything like that, although it's not always the most cinematic thing to be like, I've got to like backlight the ship so I can see anything. So these guys are in queue. Do they have to wait? They'll take off at 4:30. Okay. Gaston. You're probably not going to find him down here. Fisher might. Man, look how cloudy it is. They're like flying through a cloud. Sun's starting to come up, and you can see them moving the planes around. Now, we didn't have Hornet or Enterprise in the demo. We just had the Lexington class carriers, right? Or no, we had Yorktown, but we didn't have. So we had one Yorktown class, but we didn't have the Enterprise specifically in the Hornet, which was Hornet's like a total. Enterprise was a Yorktown class, right? Or was it an individual class? I can't remember. Yeah, listen, I want to put as many scouts as I can without meaningfully impacting my strike package. 10 SBDs down is, I think I only did 8, didn't I? But that's still, you know, what, a fourth of the air wing, maybe a little more, or one of the squadrons. There's 2 SBD squadrons, right? But certainly it impacts the strike package, but I think it's a reasonable sacrifice. I mean, we've got, in TF-17, we've got 34 dive bombers, so that's what, 1/4. And then TF-16, we've got, you know, 67 dive bombers. So all told, we've got a pretty good chunk of dive bombers. Like, yes, 8 could impact the results, I suppose, but I wouldn't understand why these guys would be in queue though. Like, shouldn't, if the other guys are spotting, shouldn't these guys just be off the catapult right away? These guys are in queue too, but it's like TF-16, you're just all going. Maybe it's not light enough. This game does look good in early morning or late evening. Sun going down over the horizon bits. Makes me want to join the Navy. In the Navy. The Wasp was the largest deviation. Didn't the Wasp have like some weight distribution issues that contributed to her sinking? Oh, wait. Did we see movement? No. Just a shadow. I want to see them launch. Is there a difference between the color here? Wasp had treaty restrictions. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I mean, the Japanese, a lot of the Japanese fleet carriers were like what, converted other ships. Do they just shoot off the catapult? I'm really curious what the retrieval process looks like. Does the cruiser just stop and fall out of formation? Dong, 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 dong. Okay. These guys are taking off. Oh, these socks already launched? Did they all launch? Oh, no, they didn't. Look, they're turning the catapult out to the side. Be cool if I could see more. He's up. You can barely see the biplane out this way. They're launching this guy off the other side. There he is. They're gonna go. Vroom! Away from the cruiser they go. That's cool. Yeah, but the issue with the easily converted to the carriers is that posed problems. Like, it wasn't the Hiryu, for example, for the number of planes they tried to cram onto her, like the hull was way too narrow and small for what they were trying to do with it. Being able to operate as a carrier doesn't mean it's necessarily the wisest decision. Whee! Going vertical. This little buddy's going. All right, what about the Catalinas? Where are they at? Good old PBYs. Please, somebody spot the Japanese. You guys are well into your search arc. No one's hitting Midway yet, as far as I know. Can we see if we go in the 3D mode, like the island here? Can't really make much out. Here we go. Good old military barracks. Looks like a hangar here. Nice naval seawall. Radar installations, I assume, right here. These towers. I assume these are like watchtowers or beach defenses, maybe? Like, I don't know. They look like lifeguard posts. Is this the runway right here? There's a bit of a bend to it. I don't think that's the runway. We'll see more when it gets lighter. All right, air operations are underway. Our aircraft are airborne. We didn't even look at the carriers as they launched. That's fine. We've looked at the aircraft off the carriers in previous videos. At the wake of the ships down there? It looks like it. It's dark. What can you see? All right. I guess we just speed up a little bit and see when we start spotting some stuff. I can't imagine those are lifeguard towers. Midway doesn't exactly have a large, thriving tourist, you know, whatever. Yeah, wasn't that, what was the massive carrier with the armored flight deck? Start with an S, right? Shinao or something. Wasn't she a converted Yamato class battleship? Wait. Our scouts report an enemy surface force bearing 154, range 227 miles. Where? Carrier force bearing 154, 226 miles. Where? Give me the report on the map. Also, which scout? Why do I not see anything? It's obviously the Catalinas. It's from Intel? Not... Okay, so those are comms Intel. Does that mean the enemy's launching their morning strike on Midway, probably, if there's like radio chatter? RDF, maybe? And now for a break for our sponsors. Heineken. Sorry, just kidding. I'm being dumb. I think there's a military, I think there's a runway. It's maintained. I don't know if there's any units based out of Midway. But I think there have been a few cases where like airliners have made like emergency landings at Midway. Would have been a W sponsor. Yeah, if I could pull Heineken, that would be a W sponsor for sure. Our scouts report an enemy. Whoa, this doesn't look good. Have we been spotted? Or is this one of our friendlies that we just like? Pause. What is it? Oh, I can't see it anymore. Where'd it go? Where is it? I know this is a little gamey, but I'm trying to figure out. Here it is. I see the shadow. Okay. Whew. That's one of our recon planes. Stupid radar. Getting me all confused. Sand Island runways open. Eastern Island runways closed. Okay. Read your advice. I might be a little... There's a bunch of comments between what you posted and what I see. I suppose we could plan our raid. New strike. Deferred departure. Offensive power. Early spotting. I don't have a target yet, but... We'll go with 10 escorts. It's annoying that I have to click every single one of these damn things. Can't I just do everything? Does this, and can I launch the entire task force, or is it just one carrier at a time? It looks like it's just one carrier at a time. Yeah. Okay, that's a little annoying. All right, we'll do 10 escorts per, and we'll just do all this. We don't know where the range is yet because we don't know where they're going. Or are you telling me that you know where the enemy is? Seems a little cheaty, doesn't it? All right, just in case, we'll go with endurance. But I'd be worried that torpedo bombers wouldn't have range either. Only the Americans at this time. I don't know if they plan to change that or not, but. So I can green light and then give them a target later, I think, so they can start spotting. All right. Get your boys ready. Now I've got to do the other carrier because apparently I can only do the... Oops. That's not what I meant to do. TBD SP missing main. Missing what? Enemy carrier force. Where? Where? It reports. Scouts are reporting it. Oh, again, that's comms. What? It's so confusing. Why do I not? Yeah, but it isn't letting me close this raid out. I want to create a new raid. Not this raid. I know, I see... This is annoying. Yeah, well, I mean, they shouldn't say scouts. Our scouts are the people who are out on their planes, not the I mean, I could pick a target, but I don't want to do that because then they'll take off if I'm not paying attention. I fucked some of this up. All right, we're gonna just cancel these strikes for the moment. I don't understand why I've got to. It won't let me cancel. Is that because nobody's assigned to it? Early, deferred, endurance. Why can't I cancel this mission? I don't understand. TBD SP missing main. Doesn't make any sense. Some of the UI on this game needs some work. Between you and me, some of the UI in this game needs some work. Just because it's not always clear. I just want to cancel this mission. I don't want to assign anyone to it. No, I don't want those 3 aircraft assigned to it. I want nobody assigned to it. Be nice if there's just a delete option here. I did subtract all the planes. There's nobody in it. Are they gone now? Okay. That was annoying. All right, so we are spotting 57 aircraft for Enterprise, 56 for Hornet. Yorktown needs to spot a mission too. I don't know if I'm going too hard on the number of escorts. Is 10 aircraft each too much? I'm operating under the assumption I'll see the enemy first. That may be a dangerous assumption. All right, none of these missions have targets yet. We have not spotted anybody yet, but when you spot that many, they won't all fit on deck. Really? I didn't have any issues with that in the Coral Sea scenarios, even when I did the custom mission generator where I like had a full air loadout. Okay. Interesting. Okay, well, I guess we will see what they do then. So the missions are planned. Spotting is going to be concluding at 5:28 on the Yorktown. What about on the Enterprise? 5:30. 5:30. Okay, so I guess we'll see what happens if we don't end up assigning them a target. Oh, enemy task force spotted. I'm assuming those are the enemy carriers. We will wait a few minutes because everybody's going to be spotting for the next 20 anyway. I want to know stability wise how the game handles it. Now it claims it's a surface task force, but it says there's 15 ships there. So unless that's the invasion task force, which is possible, I'm inclined to launch on it. Nope, carriers. 1 CV, 1 battleship, 20 ships. Okay, we don't have to issue the orders to attack for a few more minutes because nobody's ready to take off till 5:20 anyway. So we'll see if we get any better intel before we issue the orders. At 5:20, 8 minutes left of spotting, we will issue the attack orders. Who's ready? Invasion forces southwest of Midway. Okay, good call. It did say that in the briefing. Okay. All right, we've spotted. It says 0 ships now. Last updated 6 minutes ago. Did they get shot down? Well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to launch the strike. .390 nautical miles. Is that? Oh, we're out of range still. They'll run out of fuel after they're over the target. I did endurance for these guys. Let's do this. This won't. How do I do this again? All right, which way's the wind going again? So we should, no, we might turn north a little bit to launch. Screw the TBs. We could do that. All right, let's do this. They're spotting. Who goes first? These guys are ready first, so let's edit this mission. Cancel. This is gonna possibly fuck up my deck planning. All right. They can make it. Yep, they can make it. With 10 minutes to spare. I don't even need to set the SPDs to long range. We can focus on firepower for them. Okay. All right. Hopefully they estimate right. Otherwise, I'm going to be sending a bunch of torpedo dive bombers out that won't see anything. I don't think I did early departure, deferred departure. For the previous raid. So let's double check that. I did not. You know, it'll be interesting though to see how this all works out, because without the torpedo bombers, the whole like, hey, we brought the cap down to low altitude won't really apply. So do we just get full on butchered? Or do our boys make it through? Interesting question. Okay. I don't like going without the torpedo bombers. I feel like going in with that with one boot off. All right, so that should be everybody. All the missions should have what I want. So early spotting, deferred departure. So we go in with a full fist. Yorktown. Early spotting, deferred departure. Hornet. Early spotting, deferred departure. Okay, good. Everybody has a target. Contact 34. Yep. They'll hit Midway before I reach the carriers. Okay, well. That's fine. 10 plus aircraft? What is this? Midway's launching their nav strikes. Yeah! B-17, boys. Did this model have the ball turret? Also, it's not glass. That's like a, looks more like a B-29 turret. That does not look right. Not to be nitpicky. They had it in the early Fs? Okay, well, either way, the turret doesn't look glassy enough. Whoa, that's pretty maneuverable. What is this B-17 doing? That is a sharp bank. All right, what else we got? We got some B-26s. I just love the B-26. Can I just say that? I'm a big B-26 fan. I think I blame Hauser for that, but I think they're cool. Just remember, guys, everybody needs to know the B-17 won the Battle of Midway, okay? They're the ones who smashed the enemy carriers. You may not believe me, but they believe it. All right, Yorktown spotting. B-26, pretty solid aircraft. Maybe better in Europe than in the Pacific, but still. They're a little sexy, you know? What do you gotta say? They're pretty sweet. Where are the escorts? Where are your escorts, buddy? I don't see them. How far away from the escort? Where did the carrier's way over there? You guys are, seems like you're out of position, but what do I know? You're kind of out that way. Why are they pushing these aircraft forward? Oh, they gotta free one of the elevators. There, I can see this guy's escorts. I can see both carriers. They're both just hanging out in close formation. They're like, hey, remember when America could build things? Just kidding. We still make a lot of stuff. It's not the same. All right. Look at these boys ready for action. Okay, so aircraft should be taking off in 10 minutes. Yorktown's in 10. I'm not sure that they'll really be ready there. I feel like the estimates are off a lot. Enterprise and Hornet are in 11 minutes. It's going to be a lot of aircraft in the air for this game to model. Eastern Island is airborne and underway. Strike package. I'm assuming those are the 17s. Well, the planes aren't spotted yet, but I will hit the takeoff button when they're ready. I'm a little worried that that report is out of date. PBY, you should have stayed and shadowed. Although maybe you got shot down. Uh-oh. Bogeys, many. Here comes the strike on Midway. Dun 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 dun. Pause. That is a lot of bogeys. Look at them all. Can you hear me? God, this is the thing. So, like, I do worry that this game will be a little bit repetitive and that the individual scenarios don't offer enough opportunity for playing differently. However, when you get moments like this, it's like you're watching fucking Tora or something. Or better. The Zeros are not all escorting the Midway strike. We know that. We know that, guys. Didn't they technically leave half their aircraft behind? Isn't this only half? Many planes heading Midway. These are the dive bombers. Actually, are these torpedo bombers with bombs? The bombs look different, but I guess they're ground. Maybe they have different bombs for striking an airfield. Contact fuses. Okay. All right, where's our missions tag here? Ready at 5:39. I can't hit takeoff yet. Okay. Soon. Why was I hearing that? This guy ready? Oh no, they're pushing him back. We'll be ready to launch soon. My ears feel weird not hearing anything. I'm pretty sure Midway will already launch its Buffaloes. Let's see. Midway, scramble. Yes, they are preparing their F-2A3s. I wonder how scripted the air attack on Midway is. Or like, can the land-based bomber score a lucky hit? Like, is that something that could happen in the game? I don't know the answer to that. It's so quiet now after having those planes in my ear. There's our SBDs out hunting for the enemy fleet. We'll take a look at the scramble here in a minute. I just got to get my... Is it really only 36 aircraft? I guess with only the SBDs. They're not done spotting. They're late. Why are they always late? All right. They're still spotting the scramble, huh? How far out of the enemy airplanes? Where is my nav strike going, by the way? Okay, that looks like it should be about right. Okay, they're still spotting the SBDs. They haven't spotted the fighters yet, so they are way behind. Yeah, none of these guys are close. Okay. I'm not scrambling. Midway is scrambling. To be fair, I caused yeah. I was like, let's have a strike. Let's not have a strike. Let's have a strike. Let's not have a strike. At least I didn't tell them to plan for a naval attack and then a land attack and then a naval attack and then a land attack. In my defense, where's the huge moon? That's not a moon. That's not a moon. It's a space station. I don't see the moon. All right, so they're about to engage, maybe? Or unless these are probably not the scrambles. These are probably the air attacks. Heading out. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, flying high into the B-17. I hate the whole, if you click it, it like selects it, but then it instantly brings you away. Army B-17. There they are. There the boys. Gaining altitude. Well, don't worry, we'll bomb through the clouds and smash them. This is the Midway scenario, bloody. Hey look, our scouts are reporting more stuff. The top turret looks fine. The bottom turret just doesn't look right. Unless it's a version of the turret that is like controlled via like someone in the belly who's not actually in the turret. Maybe, did they have a version of that early on, maybe? It's kind of like the B-24 nose cone, but what do I know? I ain't no rivet counter. Yeah, that doesn't look like the Sperry, that's for sure. All right, are the fighters up yet? Is the scramble still spotting? Here we go, boys. They're on the tarmac. The buffaloes are getting ready to go. Quick, boys, quick. And two. Whoa. Apparently the water's directly below. Here, it's the runway. It's the water. It's the runway. Who's ready? We're taking off in pairs. Get those buffaloes up. The pride of the Pacific. Don't worry, these are clearly state-of-the-art fighter aircraft. They can go toe-to-toe with the Zero if anyone can. Every play's a crapshoot. Good to know. Well, the first group they flew in a pair, and this guy's flying solo. Maybe it's because he's part of the previous three. So maybe our buffaloes will fare better than the historic buffaloes. No, we're flying away. So like, this is a pretty cool looking island. Can I just say? Look at all these aircraft. These are, what are they? Free cam me. What are those? They don't look like SBDs to me. Maybe they are. Just look at them all. Ready to get destroyed on the tarmac. I didn't realize there were quite so many aircraft on Midway. There's the two islands here. You've got the what is it, Sand Island and Eastern Island or whatever they are. So the seaplanes are probably over here with the regular aircraft over here. Anyway, for the P-40s to get on the island or something. I mean, anyway, sure, anything's possible, right? All right, boys, I don't think this one's going to be good for us. But you got a mission. Is this the only battle where buffaloes featured prominently on the American side? Does anybody know? And by feature prominently, I mean like got obliterated. My carriers are doing fine. They're still spotting. Looks like maybe they're ready. Let's issue the order, shall we? Still, they're not done? I can't issue the order to attack? I'm confused by this not... It doesn't look like it will let me attack. I don't understand. They look like they're done. It says they're still spotting. Enterprise and... Yeah, these guys are not done. Oh no, they still got to spot the fighters. I've still got a few fighters to spot, so they're not done. My bad. Little do the Japanese know that their doom is already at hand. I knew the Brits had them at Malaya and in the Singapore campaign they were prominent. I was thinking mainly from the American side. Thank you very much for the follows, guys. Bears 353. I'm glad you lost. Thank you for the follow, though. Checkpoints, thank you for the follow, and KZ Kuna, thank you for the follow. So they definitely are throwing these buffaloes up in complete spray and pray mode. They're all coming in like not in a formation. It's like just groups of three, like just one in front of the other. I will say the Buffalo's got a little... Oh, there's the huge moon. The Buffalo's got a little bit of a P-47 look to it to me in certain angles. Just that big-ass engine in the middle there. Yeah, but I'm telling them when to launch, JD. All right, they're waiting for the takeoff order. How long do they wait? That's a question. Did anybody know the answer to that? They're spotted. Go. Maybe I should have double checked that the target was in the right spot. It looks like they should be about on target. All right. Go. Go. All right, we've given the green light. All aircraft are launching. We take a quick look at... Oh, they're already engaged. No, those are the... Oh, they're turning into the wind now? They weren't turned into the wind before? They waited till I ordered the strike? Okay. Wait, Brewster went out of business during the war? And they even got the head start with all those pre-war orders. They did well in the Finnish War, right? The Winter War? We've already been live for an hour, and I'm in my incredible efficiency. I'm only just getting the first aircraft in. There they go. It's fun to watch aircraft take off in this game. We'll probably see a little bit of one off the. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, flying high into the sky. They're gonna be like little angry buzzards. We ordered a delayed departure, so they should all go in one big strike package. Engaging target. Where are they? Any chance you guys can get in there and do some damage to the carriers? Or not the carriers, but their air wings. Take out a few bombers. I don't see anything. Hey, there's an island out there. Is that Midway? Are they the bad guys down there? Well, there's more of my fighters. Those are my boys. So did the scramble fly past the enemy bombers and then they're coming back? Oh no, they're not there yet. They're still flying out to them. What island do they see on the horizon? I don't even know. There's the moon. Let us bank and pray. Yeah, I know. Tab. I can see a tactical view of nothing right now. I can zoom out a little bit. It's like really closely linked to where you're. Okay, so there's the bad guys over here. What are we doing here, boys? We're gonna go get the enemy, or are we just gonna fly around in circles? Looks like some of the other fighters have linked up, though. Oh, there's 4 aircraft altogether here. 5 down there, so... Alright, so we're forming up for an intercept, maybe. Maybe that's what we're doing. So it looks like we've got our fighters in a group now. Circling and waiting to intercept the enemy, maybe, as they come up. Because we're still ahead of them. I believe. Oh, a few of these are F4Fs. So that's engaging enemy target, but you are not engaging anything yet. So they're searching for the target. These guys are engaging the target? Engaging what target? There's no one here. Try spinning. That's a good trick. Okay, Anakin. We could use some dark side energy right now, though. Angels 10. All right, Romeo to Love Leader. Your target is now Vector 330, 20 miles. Angels 10. Which would be a cool thing to say if I had any formation that was called Love Leader. None of the that's one of my major gripes. The radio comms on the right here do not match the formation names on the left. I don't see a major parks in here. Not saying you're wrong. I see no parks. Maybe down here? Nope. Simmons, Bates, Lowe, Phelps, Valdez, Green, Chambers. Well, these guys are all searching. These guys are engaging. Oh, shit. Look at all of these goddamn aircraft. They're like freaking mosquitoes. Well, you damaged one. Apparently the... Oh, you're about to ditch. Oh my god. You're going after a zero. Holy shit. You look out of control there, buddy. That's not a very good pass. Why are you wobbling around like this? Oh, taking hits. Maybe that's why you were. It's just like, I'll just spray and fly around like a maniac. Can you get one? If you guys shoot down any enemy aircraft, I will be thrilled. No signs yet. Oh, someone's going down. I don't know if that's ours or theirs. Usually I feel like the smoke means it's the enemy. Someone's burning up there. Hopefully that's an enemy aircraft. As much damage as you can do to the carrier wing, the better. Buffalo had a stability problem. Devs know what's up. All right, I'll trust you. You're going to fly under the formation. You're not even going to try and make a pass on them? All right. No head-on pass for you. There goes one. We're getting a few. We're getting a few. Probably doing better than they historically already did, right? I don't know how many planes the Japanese lost, but my understanding is it was very minimal. Hauser, are you going to make a Buffalo model? I feel like we need a Buffalo model. Maybe I'll start a new war in the Pacific series if you do a Buffalo model. All right, we're coming around for a rear pass on this formation. You're going to do your little... Or are you going to try and engage an enemy fighter or not the actual formation? Looks like you're going for the formation. So you do have one on deck. Pre-war, though. Okay. There's an enemy bomber smoking. I will say, and I think it's cool, and I don't, and there's another enemy plane going down. I'm not saying this necessarily as a bad thing, but there is an element to this game of it kind of becomes more a game of watching than a game of playing. And I think that maybe is why they give you the option to fly the fighters, which should we do that? Can I take over these guys? Oh boy. Wish me luck. But I do think there's an element of like, all right, so you send the aircraft up, you tell them when to strike, and you can tell your task force to turn and stuff. But that's about it. I don't know how to fly in this game. Flying's not easy in this game, by the way. A damage too. And also there's no collision, so you just fly through the enemy formations. I also don't know if damage matters when it comes to, like, do planes repair when they land? I'm not really sure. Still got quite a few blues. Those lighter blue hashes are friendlies. Uh-oh. Mod alert. Hauser saying let the professionals do their jobs. I'm not a professional. Why am I flying like... Oh, there they are. It's like I'm flying through all these hashes and I'm not seeing anything. Are we trailing them? Oh, they're coming. They're going head on. Oh, we're gonna stall. Goes over. Get some speed. I'm only at 70% throttle. I should probably throttle up. Frankly, as we get close to Midway, I wouldn't mind just jumping out of here and watching the bombing. Lord knows I ain't doing anything. I also took over one of the better aircraft in the group, right? An F4F. I don't think I can turn the chevrons off. I don't know. But the game is not meant to be a flight sim, so... I do not think they're planning to do HOTAS support. I could be wrong, but... Hey, Finish, how you doing? Alright, release control. I'm not doing anything here. Oh, you're dying. You're dying. Well, now that we clicked away and flew around for a bit, you can see, look at all of our fighters have ditched for the most part. We've got like 2 guys left. All right, Midway's about to get hit. Can we go down there? Are they going for the... So this runway looks real nice. I think this is the seaplane runway, though. No, those are not seaplanes. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Are these guys just trying to get what's like the actual... I think they may just be scrambling these guys to get them off the island so they don't get hit by enemy bombs. There's the seaplanes just chilling in the water out here. So you'd think this would be the target. This is the concrete runway. Although I think most of our aircraft were on the other runway when we saw them taking off. There's enemy aircraft. There are bombs. Boom. Oh no. Good luck, boys. Don't trip in the crater. Oh, they got off before the crater. They fly through the smoke. It'd be cool if there were physics effects on the smoke. Doesn't look like it. What's this that's burning over here? I hear thumping. Doesn't seem like there's enough bombs. It's like one squadron hit. That's it. It doesn't look like anything's hit on the main island. Main island looks fine. I do like that they're trying to scramble these aircraft and get them off the ground. Pretty sure our fighter groups got wiped out, at least most of them. Some of them are, I guess there's still like 4 of these Wildcats are still flying. There's no way that's the whole strike. Do they really not have a runway on this part of the island, or this island? Huh. It's the bigger island. You'd think they'd have something. I broke up the attack a bit so it'll come in bits. Maybe. Or maybe we devastated them so badly that they're done. These guys all look like they're flying away. I don't think I devastated the enemy islands very much, though. If that's all the bombs that fall on us, though, then the game shortchanged us some excitement. These are escorts, it looks like. Okay. Well, whatever this island is, looks like it's got way more facilities on it, but obviously the smaller island only is the only thing with a runway. So they definitely launched a full squadron of fighters. There's a lot of zeros out here. This nav strike is still taking off. Oh, these guys are off Midway. Okay. Where are our strikes? They barely left. Really hope they're going to hit the enemy target at the right point. All right, we're going to fast forward a little bit. Obviously, Midway happened. But let's let our carrier groups get up, and then they can get toward the enemy fleet. You would think they would prep another ground strike, but we already have our aircraft on the way to the enemy carriers more than an hour before historically they launched, I believe. Now, we didn't send our torpedo bombers up because we're too far away for them to get back. But no, my strike is only just leaving the environs of the carrier fleet. Dun, 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 dun. All right, boys. Here's one of the Japanese carriers. Lovely little target painted on the front of it. Ooh, lovely little cruiser with the funny little turret design. I do like the look of the stacks. Always been a big fan of Japanese stacks. Destroyer out this way. Battleship of the Congo class, I think. Could it be the Haruna? Oh, it's a light. This is a light cruiser? This does not look like a light cruiser. Or the other one was a cruiser. I've already increased my speed to 30 knots. I'm just like a little kid in a candy store taking all these photos. All right. Another enemy carrier back this way. Is this the Kaga? She kind of looks like it, although she doesn't have the closed off bow, but she's definitely higher up off the ground than the other meatball, which is over here. Just checking out the ships. I like your boats. Here's our attack. Our first attack package. Oops. This one is off TF-17, so this is just the one carrier. This is the smaller group of dive bombers. They may serve the same purpose as the torpedo bombers did historically, clearing the way for the subsequent strike, which is a little bit further back and considerably larger. You got one group up here. We got the group we clicked on. Quite as scenic as the Japanese strike package, which was beautiful. What about the base strike? Anybody close here? B-17 still climbing. See if they drop through cloud cover. They're still, you know, our strike might hit before the B-17s do. I got to imagine we've got a speed advantage. Maybe the B-26s are out ahead of us. They got a handful of them. Oh yeah, the B-26s are going to go first. God, I love the B-26 and its funky looking. It just looks sweet. Oh, I'm so bland at this angle. Look at me, I got a big ass torpedo underneath me. Inefficient use of torpedoes. If you ask me, they should be in the bay. Get some screenshots of these bad boys for playing Carrie Grigsby's, except without the torpedoes. Look at those big ass engines. These guys are gonna get shot to pieces. But hey, maybe they'll pull the cap away. I think we're all gonna be going in at roughly the same time. Should be interesting. It'll be chaos. Chaos is good. But yeah, the 26s are definitely faster. They're gonna get there first. Oh, sweet. Did they get Avengers off Midway? So Midway got Avengers, but the carrier battle groups didn't. Great. I'm assuming the torpedo would not fit in the bay. Otherwise, why did they stash him that way? Look at this tail gunner. He looks determined. I see you. Don't make me end you. Dude, I feel like I'd be falling out of the aircraft the way that. It looks like it's a sled out the back. Did the Army use the Mark 13 also for their launch torpedo? Are they turning to receive aircraft, or are they still on the same course? This was a rare modification of the 26. I guess an external mount would be easier if it's like a one-time thing. Hello, boys. I don't know why this is my bridge view of the carrier. Oh, this would have been a cool view to watch him take off. Shoot. Could be a cool view to watch him come in, too. Rob Lowe, the third aircraft in the formation of Webb's B-26 detachment. So I think we've got 4 B-26s total. So not very many. Too easy to dodge, I think. 4 torpedoes isn't much. I don't know how long ago I muted myself, but yeah, that was me being muted. I was talking to myself. I just started using the number locks. Not long. Cool. You know, that's just some, I'm just a content creator creating content. Clearly I know what I'm doing. All right. How close? We could do some time compression too, but we're getting pretty close actually. What's this? Wait, are they going back? Did they miss the target? They didn't see anything? No, that can't be. That's a different, it's gotta be like a, what do I have selected right now? No, we're definitely heading toward the target. I don't know what that is that's coming back. But it's not this strike. Because these guys are still moving north slowly. So they're searching for target. B-17s are still further back. SPDs are even further back than that. Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be a scout plane. No, I know it only goes back and forward, but we wouldn't have been flying long enough to have gone that far. Okay. Meanwhile, our first strike is... Here's our strikes. They're just getting past the forward carrier group. Next guys are coming back this way. You'd think we'd be in range of the torpedo bombers by now. We could try and do another strike. Nope, not in range. Landing starts at 8:47, 40 minutes after being out of fuel. So, not doing that. All right, we're getting close. Getting real close. No, I'm not muted. Shouldn't be muted. I see my volume going up and down. The plane audio went away because we went to the planning map. It's back now. Just a businessman doing business, you know, streaming, making a no, not making a living. Spider, by the way, 15 minutes ago. Thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. Are they not searching for target anymore? Speed up play, but don't you want to watch this in real time? We can make this stream a 6-hour stream. We can mock, you know, do the real battle. I'll speed it up in a second. I'm going to take a quick sip of a beverage. All right. Yeah, we're still moving slowly. Oh, we're moving forwards. En route to target. Have we spotted them? We're diving through the clouds. Let's make our attack, boys. Down we go, flying down through the clouds. I don't know how to make this about this. No, that's Santos. That's what I would do with Scourge of War Antietam. You want to watch the 11-hour battle? For sure. 1x speed. Let's do it. Intercept point found. I can't see anything. We're flying through the soup. It's like night. There we go. We're getting through the clouds here. Man, that is some cloud cover. We're gonna beat the planes back to the carriers. B-26 was a nice little fast guy. I don't know how fast you'd be carrying a torpedo. Oh, flak! There's a puff. Just one? More! Flak! Poof, poof, poof. I see black silhouettes of ships. Let's see what we got, boys. I guess you can lure the enemy cap down low. There's a battleship right here, I think. Always smart to fly parallel to flak. is that? Sorry. What are these splashes? Are they just rounds hitting the, Alright, let's unpause. I think they're just rounds hitting the sea, which is pretty cool to see that represented. Uh-oh. Enemy fighters. Look at that. Your top turret shooting back at them. Oh, here's the enemy carrier. We're making a run. We're getting shot at, or one of them, some of our boys are getting shot at. Meanwhile, we're making a run on this carrier. There it goes. Fish away. Do we all get off? Yeah, all our fish got off. I don't imagine we'll hit anything. I'm sure the enemy will turn out of the way. But we got 3 fish out of the water. Oh, web went down. Oh, poor web. Were you entrapped in a web of the enemy's design? I don't know. That's dumb. All right, they're turning. I can't see the torpedoes. I'm gonna guess 3 torpedoes are not going to hit. Can't exactly see them though. Suppose they probably didn't even come close. Problem is they're slow. Are we just gonna assume we missed? At this point, this turn's way too tight. There's no way we, I don't think there's any way we hit him. I wish there was a option to see your fish, right? Like, you can see your aircraft. What about the fish? I'd hate to miss a hit, but pretty sure they're already out of their turn. So I think we missed all 3 B-26s. All 4 B-26s are now ditched. At least we drew some of the cap down. I don't see the torpedo wakes are very faint. I clicked the wrong carrier. Either way, there was no explosion on we brought us enemy fighter down at sea level. I must have missed that. Okay, so I think the B-17s are going to be dropping while our dive bombers are hitting, or it's going to be very close. Haha, super cheese. Can't see the wake. We're at Midway. Ba-dum, ba-dum. All right. Poor B-26s. We will minimize your strike as you have no purpose anymore. Actually, it looks like the dive bombers passed the B-17s. They're going to hit before our carrier dive bombers. I'm very leery of the time compression key just because when I was playing previously, is that the group? No. Okay. When I was playing in the Coral Sea scenario, I always compressed too much, and then I ended up missing big parts of the fight. En route to IP. Oh, nice. These are the Avengers. So we are going to hit with torpedo bombers again. How are the Japanese directing flak at us when we're in cloud cover? I want to know that. All right, what do we have here? We've got a section of 3 and 3. So we've got 6 Avengers. And a flat top down there. So the other group's over there, I think, getting shot at. We're over here. Uh-oh. Tail gunner shooting at an enemy 0. That doesn't bode well. If I was you, I'd turn and make a snapshot on this carrier on your flank. Enemy 0. Carriers to the left of us. Carriers to the right of us. Carriers to the front of us. We are not making a bow-on attack on this guy, are we? That'd be nuts. Bombay doors opening. Whoa! What kind of razzle-dazzle haymaker prayer was that? There's no, like, that torpedo wouldn't have survived. What the fuck? Turn banking. This guy at least is making what looks like an approach. He may have already dropped. Oh, no, he's dropping here. Where are you dropping? I guess. Maybe that's where the enemy ship's gonna be. I don't know how many of these guys took torpedo training. $360 no scope. Ah! I mean, it's definitely true that surface ships use different color shells for spotting. It would not surprise me if anti-aircraft did. If you could do that, the same thing. I don't know that you could. Like, there'd be dye in the water for a naval shell as you're shooting at an enemy ship, so you could spot the colors of dye. I might get a hit. I don't see any torpedoes. How would we know if we get a hit? Did we get a hit over here? Something's smoking. I guess it could have been a plane. What do we get? Or is this just a burning plane? Sir, water puts planes out. Just thought you should know. I don't think this is the guy who we fired at. Okay, well, it would seem this second strike was a bust. Get the 0. Do me a favor and get the damn 0. Alright, so all 3 Avengers in that second group are dead. This is the only one left from the first group that's alive. For now. Avengers, disassemble! Come on, tail gunner, earn your pay. Take a 0 or 2 out for us. 2 might be greedy. Get him! Not gonna lie, if I was back there, I'd be like, let me know when I can bail. We ain't making it back, Joe. Maybe pull into the cloud cover. Maybe that would give us a chance. What are we doing on the deck? I guess I should say George, because that's who he is. Maybe he heard me. He's like, let's climb for the clouds. Maybe he's gonna make it. Maybe the enemy's turning back. What are you doing? What on earth are you doing? You were climbing for the clouds. Keep going. Oh, they're back there. I mean, oh, there goes your wing. Time to get out, boys. Goodbye. I think, I mean, it should, being under fire would affect accuracy to an extent. All right, I think the B-17s are closer than our naval strikes. Naval strikes still out this way. B-17. They should be dropping first. Bombing target. They're shooting at enemy zeros? Oh man, that'd be so cool. There's a 0 down there. Can you guys shoot 1 or 2 of them down, please? Flying Fortress, do your fortressy thing. There's 2 of them down there. 3. Oh my god, there's actually quite a few enemy fighters. Weren't they just on the deck firing at my Avengers and now they're shooting at my Oh man, they got a lot of zeros. Pray for our SPDs. The real hope is that we actually coordinated this okay and the enemy can't reposition because our bombers are coming up from the south. Our carrier aircraft are coming from the east. So in theory, says you're bombing target, or the lead is, but I don't know how you're bombing through that. That's a lot of 50 cal. It doesn't seem like the Zeros press their attack home very much, though. Well, I don't know how you're gonna bomb target like this. It says bombing target, but your bomb bay doors are closed. There's a lot of B-17s there. That's more B-17s than you see in like games about bombing Europe. B-17 the Mighty Eighth. I've got my eye on you. Flak looks low. Oh, there's some better aimed flak. Those enemy fighters don't really look like they're pressing home their attacks on us, like, at all. They're just kind of flying past us. I don't know if they're going for the rear of the formation. Is anybody actually dropping? Oh, they're dropping! They're dropping! Bombs away! All right, let's pause. Let's go see. We'll never see the carrier because I'd rather focus on the camera in the back of the formation. You know, we're not going to see the carrier through that cloud cover. I also can't see the carrier from here, so there's no button that lets me click down and see it. Be cool if I could see the target, but all right, are we dropping on a cruiser? I assume maybe this is our target. Ooh, I can see into the flight deck. It's dark and a scary night. All right. I'm assuming the bombs will be coming from behind us. I don't really know who we're targeting. It'd be cool if our bombs get close, but I doubt it. Well, there's some misses. They're targeting that cruiser. Okay. We are nowhere close. Those B-17s can report back to Midway that they won the battle all they want, but I regret to inform them that is not the case. If you if you can imagine, if you were able to get a hit on those guys, that'd be ridiculous and awesome. But pretty close if the target was the Hamburg city center, and if the target was maneuvering, I suppose. It's turning, it's not listing. There's a difference. Is that all we get to see from all of those bombers? I wonder if there's a draw limit on the number of bombs you can see, like, that hit the surface that you can see. Like, does it simulate it but not display it? Because that was definitely not like 16 bombers worth of bombs. I'm pretty sure everybody dropped already. Yeah, they're all heading home. Yep. All of these guys are heading home. It says it's always late to change this, but the direction they're flying is the opposite direction that they were heading before. Yeah, the game doesn't give you any info on hit or misses. Doesn't do it. All right, B-17 strike, check, done. B-26s already flew. Avengers already died. These guys, did these fly yet or hit yet? I don't think so. Nope. Where are they? They're a ways away. I think they only flew because they scrambled. So now it's on the naval strikes to do something. They're getting close. This is the first strike from TF-17. TF-16 is further back, I believe. Yeah, TF-16 is further back. TF-17 is closer. Considerably closer. Okay. I'm not really sure why the Zeros didn't seem to press home against the 17s unless altitude or firepower or what. Could be fuel and ammo. I don't think so. I don't think they know. I guess if they thought smaller aircraft were coming in. Okay, we'll fast forward. Are they turning into the wind or to launch or to receive? That a Zero flying through our formation? We do have a few escorts with this group, don't we? Evading. Help your boys out. Come on, McCormack. There's a Zero right in front of you. Don't let him shoot your bombers up. Get him. Don't make me take control. We all don't want to see that. He's flying pretty straight and level for a guy who wants to survive. There he is. Is he going to start banking? Took a few hits, didn't blow up yet. At least I think he took a few hits. Yep, broke his wing off, ripped it right off there. Enemy aircraft heading to the ground. Good job, McCormack. So our escorts are trying to do their job. We're dealing with flak. I don't know if we've spotted the enemy carriers or not. Got a pretty nice formation going here. I assume they're down here. There's one straight. I assume that's a carrier straight down there. We're lining up ready for a dive bomb attack. There's a flat top down there. Come on, boys, do your thing. We're going for the one further back. Some of our planes are damaged. I see some smoke off of one of them. I don't see anyone pushing over yet. We must be going for a ship further in. Or we somehow didn't look below us. No, I can't control the B-17s at all. Guys, the longer you fly straight and level to get to a nearer plane or nearer ship, or further ship, the more casualties we're going to take. I'd really, really wish we had just lined up on that first carrier. There's a nice break in the clouds and everything. Are we gonna push over? Also, didn't we do endurance? So shouldn't we not have these 100-pounders on the wings? Just trying to fast forward a little bit. All right, the formation's turning. Don't tell me you didn't see anything. Definitely lining up here. I think this aircraft is at the rear of the formation. Bombing target. Our lead is in any event. God damn it. Don't die. Sure doesn't look like we're bombing target yet. There we go. Nosing over through the clouds at something. I'm sure we'll see in a second. Those other aircraft back there must be dying, but it looks like we've got a good number of planes here, at least 10 or so that are nosing over towards something. I guess we'll find out soon. Here we go. Whoa, hits coming out of the cloud already. One carrier on fire. Just off the left side of the deck. Near misses abound. Another hit. I'll just pause the game so we can click down on the carrier. All right, so at least 2 hits for sure. I think our bomb looked good. But maybe it was that miss right there. Two big hits on this guy. All the guys drop like. You are not in formation. All right, everybody dropped. So got 2 hits on this carrier. This carrier's got multiple hits too. Boom! Some good hits right there, right as I clicked over to watch it. Didn't know there were more bombs coming down, but definitely got a few hits here. So 2 distinct plumes on the first carrier that we attacked. At least, I think, 3 hits on this guy. This one looks like one of these hits went into the side of the ship down by the water line. One went straight through the middle of the flight deck. Maybe they won't be able to land their Midway strike. Their decks are clear. I don't see any other smoke plumes, so no indications that any other enemy carriers are hit, but at least 2 are burning. Okay. This is just from the one strike, from the single carrier strike. We've got 2 more carriers, dive bombers coming in. One of them was definitely a low hit. Someone just crashed. There's an undamaged carrier over this way. That was a 0. Good job, boys. At the very least, this carrier is out of action for a time, because that's like smack dab in the center of the flight deck. Although, are there arresting wires further forward? Oh, there's some barriers, maybe. The arresting wires are further back. This guy got... neither of these were center cut. This is just off the left corner of the flight deck, and this one is kind of off the center. This might knock our carrier operations out, but I don't think either of those will be kill shots unless there's further fires and explosions. All right. So that was Task Force 17's strike. Nav Strike 11. Nav Strike 24 is still en route. This is the larger one. Do near misses cause damage? I don't know. I don't think so. No, what? Our forces seem to have disengaged with the enemy? Continue? What are you talking about? We literally are still fighting them. That was weird. Kaga and Akagi got hit. Okay. Okay. Waiting to see. Hopefully you find the enemy carriers. Because you guys just turned. Where are you turning to? Do you see something? You're going off mission. You're lining up like you're going to go for a strike, though. You're no longer in a or a 3-man formation. You're also looks like my fighters are diving in on enemy zeros, I assume. Oh. There's one of the carriers burning down here. There's the other one. I hope you guys bomb the fresh ones. Or just make sure you finish off. I'm not sure. A strategic objective was completed. Does that mean the enemy carriers are turning back or something? What? I don't know why it told us that. I think that's when it said we disengaged. All right, so you guys said we fly past and then fly back? There's an undamaged carrier down here. Go for this guy. You're turning the other way. Well, you're going for the damaged one. Gotcha. Are you all going for the damaged one? All right, that's a lot of misses. Please get a few hits, guys. There's a good hit. Right in the center of the... This guy's gonna go long, I think. Nice hit there. Another big hit. This carrier's got to be a goner. All right. We're going to follow this other group, which hasn't dove yet. You're going to dive on this guy too? Dear Lord. Stop. He's dead. Well, those guys still haven't bombed. There's someone out here we haven't dove on yet, but to me it looks like you're gonna dive down on this guy. There's a lot of aircraft down there. Is this the enemy? All right, one sec. I want to know what's down there. These are fighters? These guys, they're climbing away. Okay. All right, so these guys are, some of the guys are already diving, it looks like. Maybe this is a fresh target. We know for sure, I think one carrier should not survive. No torpedo hits, Ben. We haven't actually sent our torpedo bombers out because we weren't in range yet. But we did send, we had some Midway-based Avengers who all got shot down, and then some Midway-based B-26s who all got shot down, who had torpedoes, but they all managed to get their fish off, just none of them hit. Some of them were like 360 no-scoping, basically. Oh, this is interesting. We're not coming in very shallow at all, but this is a fresh carrier, so 2 carriers on fire, one of them probably doomed to sink. Third carrier hit now with 2 clear bomb hits. Nice third hit there. 4th hit. Bad day to be Japan. Well, that was cool. We just watched a bomb streak past our screen. This guy's already pretty low in the water. I guess there's a midships right there. I think this one had the better part of a whole squadron lined up against it. There's another hit. I think that was a 100-pounder. No, a nice solid 1,000-pounder midships. This guy's got to be a goner too. So I think for sure 1 carrier badly damaged, 2 carriers likely sunk. From what I've seen, it's certainly possible more was hit, but this thing is ablaze from stem to stern with a lot of bomb craters on the flight deck. the very least, this guy's out of action for sure. I think this is the one that only took the 2 bomb hits. I don't think we hit her again. This carrier's having air operations ongoing. I love this view. You've got the enemy carrier that's burning and out of control directly ahead while you're, I don't know if you're launching or if that was because this one wasn't burning. Don't tell me we're doing a Yorktown. I only see one. So there's one. This guy's no craters. This guy's ablaze with a billion. This guy's ablaze of, well, one fire with a few hits. Where's the 4th carrier that... Oh shit, we're bombing again. Is that everything? Was that your full might? No actual hits, just a few near misses. Those aren't even close. I wonder if these are the Midway based dive bombers. I don't see anyone diving. Could they be level bombing into these guys? Also, I think the enemy raid is returning from Midway. Yeah, I don't think these were naval dive bombers. All right, so we know for sure 2 carriers badly hit, but where was the 3rd that we hit? It didn't sink already. No, the B-17's already dropped, Hauser. They're already on their way back. I think these might be the, we could look. God, that carrier's in. Look at that. These guys are from Midway. Yeah, they don't look like they dove. They look like they... Did we get a hit over there just now? There's one. This guy's got to be sinking. No hits as far as I can tell on this 3rd carrier. Where's the 4th carrier? Maybe she's dead in the water and trailing? Definitely a waterline shot on the Kagi or Kaga, whatever that one is. So for sure there's one undamaged carrier. I don't think there's 2, but I guess it's possible. This guy has to be sinking. It's just too much damage. You'd think it was out front. Well, it might not be anymore, though, with the damage she took. Well, there's one over here. Okay, so yeah, this one was damaged. It does look like they put the fires out, so maybe she will survive. But you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 craters. I would think she's not doing so hot. All right, so we did badly damage at least 3, maybe sank one of them, but for sure badly damaged 3 enemy carriers. 1 carrier is untouched. So that's a pretty good strike, I would say. Pretty historically accurate too. Yeah. I would say to some extent it seemed like the dive bombers went in mostly okay, and I'm wondering if that's because we didn't have our torpedo bombers from the carriers going, but we did have the torpedo bombers from Midway going, plus the B-17s, all basically within minutes of the dive bombers hitting. So I wonder if it had a same effect on the Japanese as historically the Devastators did. By the way, Billy Bob, thank you for the sub. John Michael, thank you for the sub. I know those were like 30 and 40 minutes ago, but just saw them now. It was a little focused. All right, so I don't think this battle's over. We're definitely going to have to retrieve our aircraft, launch another strike, maybe try to send our torpedo bombers on what I imagine would be a greatly depleted enemy wing. Oh, shoot. 6 minutes ago, the enemy detected us. We did see the enemy launch one aircraft. He was a fighter. I don't think they're going to be launching for some of these anyway. Any strike. I suppose this guy could spot up a strike and launch. But so far, nothing. If it's one strike, I imagine my 50 planes or so could... Oh, that's because he's rigged to receive aircraft. You can see he's got the barrier up. So he's retrieving his aircraft from the Midway strike. But yeah, let's go ahead and save this game. Okay. Do we want to debrief now? Because I'm probably going to drop out here. We've been going for 2.5 hours. I think the back half of this battle will have to occur another night. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and pause here and we'll drop. I don't know why I already saved, so we're good there. I don't know why my screen, like, I'm not able to alt tab out of there, which is kind of annoying. But in any event, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream and look at Task Force Admiral, a game that is coming out on the 27th to early access. This is the Midway scenario, the standard Midway scenario, not the one where the Japanese detect you early. But that is that, I think. I think that's going to do it for today. I hope you guys did enjoy. And as always, thank you very much to all of the followers and to everybody who continues to support the channel. Spider, John, Billy, thank you for the subs. Masswolf 3 hours ago, thank you for the resub as well. And yeah, I appreciate you guys coming out. Gun goes bang. Pardon the silly question, please. Do you feel like the game is playing by itself, or did my inputs have a difference? I think that is a valid question for a game like this. I think this is very much you manage carrier ops in the true sense of you're back on your ship and you're planning scouting raids. Then you have to actually plan the raids. So like you definitely are playing the game. The air attacks themselves, however, is much more of a cinematic experience. You launch your raids and then you watch and you see what happens. You can move your task force around, but I do think for some people, there may be a perception of I'm just watching a lot of things unfold. I think from a gameplay perspective, they are all things you set in motion. But I think from I want to be clicking and doing lots of things, this is not the kind of game that you will have that. So I think that is a totally fair observation. I don't think the game plays itself. I think the game plays what you put in motion. And to some extent, that is not a click fest. So you will be sitting and watching a fair bit. But it's kind of in contrast to a lot of games that feel like you are clicking so much you can never sit back and watch and enjoy the pretty visuals, like the Eugen system games, right? War, Air, Land Battle, Broken Arrow, different games that are in that vein all have that problem where it's like, hey, these are pretty games that I never get to look at. So this is kind of, I would say, the opposite of that. But I appreciate you guys coming out once again. Thanks again. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out. Bye-bye. And now, a word from our sponsors.